Alright, the tweaking of this build continues. And one thing I realized is, this guy has a lot of armor piercing, so I need to take advantage of that. I'm doing it for the cooldown. But I forgot, they buffed no resistance against the fortified, and you see I have changed it on to put it on my build. So now my resistance piercing on this dude is 78%, which is my armor piercing. It'll be 80% once I max the armor piercing thing. And then of course there's another 10% more resistance piercing in the ascension tree I can get, so I could get 90%. Obviously if I wanted to, I could max armor piercing, get 100% resistance piercing. But the difference between that and 90%, I mean, who cares? Because in order to do that, as I explained in my last video, I'd have to give up my weapon leech, my health and armor bonus on my skill tree, and most importantly, I'd have to give up the bounty hunter mod that increases elite damage, which I have noticed does make a difference. So I'm like, nah, that really wouldn't help me. As I was saying, my cooldown is so low anyway, so I don't need it. I can't even keep up with it. I can barely keep up right now, and it's back to where it was. So it's like 1.4 seconds now. It'll be 1.3 seconds once I max it, I'm sure. So that's a 1.3 second cooldown on grav, leap, and endless mass. And if you were to max it, the true potential would be, I think it actually can go below 1 second. As I said, you actually can get it to like 0.9 seconds if you were to, just for fun, max it completely. It is insane. But yeah, I decided to get resistance piercing over anomaly echo, so that's the mod I swapped. I've noticed that's the one mod I keep swapping out constantly on this dude. So if you're trying to develop this kind of build too, 9 of my mods are just kind of necessary right now. Like, most of them are for tanking, but it's important because they're for the base tanking. Because, inevitably, even on this dude, I get, frozen, I get stun locked sometimes, and then, of course, you get silence now. I've dealt with that in the new endgame, the silence enemies towards the end. And whenever that happens, it's still good to have some decent tanking. And also because I don't really need more anomaly power. It would help my damage, but the trade-off is just not worth it, because all it would increase is just my raw damage on, like, gravity leap, and that's it. And it wouldn't really help anything else I use. And then I'd lose tons of health, so I'm like, no, I feel like this build is so perfectly designed, actually, for maximizing your health as much as possible, and then just finding these crazy unique ways to do damage, and then you learn what it's meant for, which in this case it's meant for interrupting, flying around like you're Superman, creating black holes constantly. Like it's not, that's what it's kind of meant for. But yeah, I decided to go resistance piercing because I realized I can get a ton of that because they buffed that mod, and I have a ton of armor piercing on this dude. And yeah, they buffed anomaly echo, but I think it would be better, and that's because I remember before World Slayer, resistance piercing increased the damage of your mods on your gun, like it would increase Moaning Wind's damage too. So it affects everything anomaly based, including the mods on your gear. So I'm like, that's better. The firepower from Anomaly Echo meant nothing, because I don't use my guns virtually at all, so I don't really care about that, no. I only used it for the Anomaly power. And it is a pretty good buff. It's like almost 40% more Anomaly power, for me at least. But it translates to roughly like 16% more damage on my grav leap and boulderdash, so mostly just grav leap. So it's like 16% more damage on grav leap is nice, but it's not my only forms of damage, clearly. It's maybe about half my damage, so maybe roughly an 8% increase. But resistance piercing buffs everything, so I'm like, and that also means it helps me heal even more, since it means the mods on my guns that heal me from my weapon leech heal me more. Gravity leap is still doing roughly the same damage and healing me the same. And also, Thunder's Legacy. So yeah, I'm pretty sure from what I've seen it helps damage. When I did this, I'm pretty sure it's subtle, but I can tell an even better difference in my damage on this dude. Like, I'm clearing just a little bit faster, I think. So it definitely works for one, and I'm pretty sure it's enough to overcome Anomaly Echo for this dude. So I'd recommend that too. But what I'm learning and constantly swapping that mod, I mean, that mod is subject to change too if I find some other crazy new tier 3 mod that just I have to get. But what I am learning is this build is like perfect now as just an ultimate tank and interrupt, and that honestly helps it being a tank because most of the time I'm not even in a state where I take damage on this dude. So it's already a super tank that can solo, and I'm pretty sure carry everything. I've soloed the new endgame twice already easily on this dude, and I'm quite confident I could carry. I just have to survive that dude's main hits, but I've already done it before I did this change where now I can be in grav leap invincibility mode like most of the time. So, and every time I come back I heal a bunch anyway. Again, life absorption is still key on this dude because life absorption, that 5%, it's still one gravity leap still heals me off one dude roughly like a third of my health. So like 2 of them, I think it's a little bit more, so like 2 grav leaps still heal almost my entire health bar off one dude. So it's still worth it, especially with such a short cooldown. Because with how much I do it, it now becomes my primary means of healing my health. In addition to just my damage, my interrupts, my debuffs. But what I was saying is, this build's kind of already perfectly tuned as a tank. But and it's still really good as damage. They buffed Marshall clearly. You'll see I kind of kill Moloch faster, I realize, when I target the captain next to him, because targeting the captain next to him makes Marshall target Moloch a lot better. So you will see when I fight Moloch in this video, I really take him down much quicker than even the other videos. Like, it's like, man, it's crazy. And again, this dude is not a gun build, not an anomaly build, not a bleed build, he's none of that. He's a tank build, man. That's what he is. Tank support, tank support is what I would say, actually. But what I'm learning, what I was saying is, there's so many more mods that can help this dude's damage a lot. Like that new Thunder clap, whatever it's called, Thunder's Legacy I'm using right now. It's really good. It's better than still Captain Hunter, I think, after they nerfed Captain Hunter. But the thing is, like, that's another mod that would help me as Captain Hunter. I know Anomaly Echo would still help me a bunch. And honestly, like, I'm still missing the damage mod on Endless Mass, and now that I'm using it so much, like, I tried swapping to that mod too, and it did like 15% of my overall damage. So it was still doing a lot of damage on its own. So that would help me a decent amount too. Like, and then there's more passive mods. They buffed Seismic Impulse, which could actually still be decent on this dude, especially because, again, resistance piercing buffs that stuff, as I'm learning. So there's just a lot of... I'm learning this dude has a lot of potential for increasing his damage. So I feel like his tanking, his gameplay, his team support and tanking potential is already pretty much there and maxed, and I just have to keep upgrading him now. But what the extra mods will provide is him matching the damage of everybody else. And you see he's already doing good damage. I'm already equaling some people who are like way more frail than me because of what I'm doing. And I see, like, and of course you have the third mod on your gun, and that's another thing. I don't need a survivability mod on my gun, so all 3 of my mods will be damage mods. I have Sandstorm, and I'm doing that because they help me survive, because they heal me, the damage over time mods. But, I mean, if I could just roll, like, an Air of the Desert that has just any other good damage mod, Volcanic Eruption, whatever, and then slap Twisting Tornado back on it, that's 3 huge damage mods, still healing me a bunch. So I'm seeing this build has a lot of potential for growth and damage, I think. Which is what it needs, because it has its tanking down, its support down. Now it just needs to increase its damage even more so it can solo super fast. And, you know, at that point I feel like you're looking at an insanely good build, because you're looking at a ultimate tank, ultimate carry build, I bet, in the future, and also still doing good damage.